Two cities, two coastlines, two cultures separated by thousands of miles of ocean. And yet, for 40 years, Long Beach and Qingdao have remained connected by something stronger than distance: friendship. What began as an act of outreach between two coastal communities would grow into a lasting partnership built on trust, understanding, and cultural exchange. From business leaders to students, from performances to shared meals, generations of people have carried this relationship forward. This is more than a story of two cities. This is the story of how human connection can grow across borders, survive change, and continue to grow across decades. This is 40 Years of Friendship, the Long Beach Qingdao Story. In 1985, Long Beach and Qingdao formally became sister cities. At the time, China was opening itself up to the world in new ways, and relationships like this carried enormous meaning. What began as diplomacy soon became deeply personal. Long Beach reached across the Pacific not only to offer support, but to build understanding, person by person, conversation by conversation. In those early years, the partnership focused on learning, assistance, and cultural exchange. But what made this relationship endure was something much simpler: people willing to listen to one another. Over time, those first introductions would grow into decades of collaboration, friendship, and shared history. And as Qingdao transformed, so did the relationship itself.
My name is Mary Barton, and I've been treasurer of the Long Beach Qingdao Association now for several years. And in the past, I've also held all the other officer titles. Actually, several of our most prominent citizens had been in Qingdao and realized that it was a really good match for Long Beach, partly because of the port and partly because of the beautiful coastline and interesting history of German occupation there. And so it had a lot of tourism. And I understand, for example, Doug Drummond and a couple officials from the port went there and came back, recommended it to be a sister city. And so the mayor at the time decided that that was a good match, and they adopted it. The city council voted on it, and we've been very active sister cities ever since. Well, Dr. George Wong, who was a very beloved physician here in town, decided to take one of our courses that my office was offering. So Dr. George Wong decided that he wanted to leave medicine and become a businessman. And he walked into our office and said he wanted to take our class in exporting. And he said, "Do I know anything about the Qingdao relationship?" And I said, "No." Well, George knew everything about it, and he was very personally involved. So he brought me in and got me involved, and from then it was just one thing led to another, and here we are today.
My name is Eduardo Vargas, and I'm the president of the Long Beach Qingdao Sister Cities Association. My role is obviously overseen, but our team help us on that. So my main role is the interaction with the consulate, the consul general, his team, the vice consuls, and also with the team in Qingdao, which is the government foreign affairs department at the Qingdao city. So both sides I interact with remotely and also live when I go to Qingdao or when the consul comes to Long Beach to visit us. I think it's on both sides, Qingdao and Long Beach. First, not only the city relationship mayor to mayor, but also the port relationship, because Qingdao has one of the largest ports in China. Obviously, it's smaller than Shanghai or any other large port, but the port-to-port sister city relationship also goes back in time. And the cooperation through people like Mary and the organization of these events throughout the time, even though it's not many events, right? We don't have dozens of events even. We have only 3 per year. And actually the digital pen pal, which is the academic one, is maybe newer. So I guess the consistency has been the importance for Qingdao also. Whenever we interact, and when I went to Qingdao, they literally said for Qingdao they have 80 sister cities. Compared to Long Beach, we have 9. But literally they said from the 80, we are the most active, Qingdao and Long Beach. And we were very proud, right? And it's not because of myself, but it's Mary, and throughout time, right, the dedication from the team.
Over the last 4 decades, Qingdao has transformed into a modern international city, known around the world for its industry, innovation, maritime culture, and Olympic history. The city that Long Beach first connected with in 1985 is no longer simply developing, it is thriving. And along that growth, the relationship between the 2 cities evolved as well. What once began through assistance and learning gradually became something more balanced, a partnership rooted in mutual respect. Today, Long Beach and Qingdao exchange far more than resources. They exchange ideas, culture, business, education, and perspective. The relationship is no longer defined by what one city can give the other, but by what both cities continue to learn from one another. Like any lasting friendship, the connection changed with time, growing stronger through shared experiences and a willingness to grow together.
Today, we are doing a lot more emphasis on youth programs, making sure that the next generation is involved and understands what's going on in our sister city and has a personal connection there. In the past, maybe the past 25 years or so, a lot of the relationship and interaction took place between city officials, port officials, and so on. And there was very little youth involvement. So that's probably the single biggest change that's happened over the last 35 years. We hope that their understanding will be great enough to make right kinds of decisions that will keep us, in a very good friendship. But the earliest Qingdao that I'm aware of was as a small fishing village. And if you ever study the coastline, you would understand why. There are a number of very large bays that make for a sheltered harbor, and I think that was what attracted the attention of a German ship captain who noticed it. And in the early 20th century, the 1900s, it's my understanding, maybe even 50 years before that, he identified that as a good place for the Germans to make a settlement and to build a new city on the basis of this small fishing village. So the Germans moved in. I would say that influence is still there today because there's a large part of the old Qingdao along the coastline that is full of German architecture, and the brewery, of course, is still there, and it's become a tourist attraction. Today, the city is full of skyscrapers and a very modern port, and it's built around that German settlement, but it doesn't look the same.
I think over time it's been stronger, right? Like it goes 30 years, 35 years back to gather memories and like this documentary, right? Or any information that we can go back and check and say, oh, this is something meaningful that we can either repeat or make better or improve. Also the visits from Long Beach and Qingdao into the countries. For instance, the vice mayor of Qingdao came 2 years ago to Long Beach, and she visited the mayor's office. She went to see the Cal State Long Beach and other important places for them to understand. And they had discussions on education, healthcare, right after COVID as well. So it was very interesting. And also the mayor visit to Qingdao, that was last year, and I was the luxury to participate. Noel Hasegawa was there, our current CEO of the port. He was the CEO at that point. And as I said, it's been the contribution of different people, right? Because our mayors change every so years, and our leadership also changes. But I would say the memories and the willingness to keep going, right? It keeps us afloat and growing, and that made us, at least for both sides, like Long Beach and Qingdao, the most important sister city.
But relationships between cities are never built by buildings or governments alone. They are built by people, by volunteers, leaders, educators, performers, and community members who continue to dedicate their time and energy to keeping this connection alive. For 40 years, individuals on both sides of the Pacific have carried this partnership forward, not as an obligation, but as a shared commitment to friendship, understanding, and cultural exchange.
Well, Sister Cities is a mayor-to-mayor program. It was created after World War II. It was to help stitch relationships back together all around the world. One mayor, one city at a time, right?
Yes.
Qingdao is now 41, 42, I think 41 years old,
Yeah.
I think at this point.
Yeah.
The city of Long Beach and Qingdao have a strong relationship. We're both tourism cities. We're both port cities. Qingdao has one of the largest ports in Asia, and we've got the second largest port in America. The other thing that we have in common, we are two great communities who enjoy beer. Qingdao is known around the world for its beer. We visited, so we did a lot. We did tea houses, we visited their Olympics sailing center, but we closed it out by visiting their Qingdao Beer Festival. It is their largest event in their city. They're known around the world for their beer, and they're very enthusiastic about making sure that everyone knows and tastes their excellent beer. So we're both two communities that love sailing, love sports, love trade, and love to have a good time. We, as a port town, our relationships, particularly with Asia and China, Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam, Korea, is going to grow over the next 25, 50 years.
In 2014, Qingdao had agreed to host the International Horticultural Exposition, which is a global organization. And of course, it's all about raising flowers and building gardens and so on. So they had set aside a very large portion on the edge of town of empty land. And we were invited to bring a Long Beach garden. Anyway, we had multiple meetings, and we decided that we couldn't have one Long Beach garden, that there are actually several types of gardens that are typical in Long Beach. And over time, those have changed. And so we decided to build a walkway through the land that had several stopping points, each of which would represent a different type of garden in Long Beach. It turns out that one of the most popular, by judging by the way people walked through it, was where we had a porch swing. And people like to just sit down and swing on the porch swing and look at the flowers and the trees and so on. So that was a little taste of Long Beach culture in China that I hope people remember. This experience has really shaped my life, so to speak, in that I pay much more attention to the news, and when I see, which is often places I've been in the news, I can really relate to it. And it particularly brings to mind the people that I've met in these places, and of course, particularly in China and Qingdao. Being a part of this international relationship has shaped my life by humanizing it.
My first exposure was through a delegation visit that Mary Barton organized as a president of the LBQA Association. And I happened to do a lot of trans-Pacific business because of my role is more logistics and supply chain. So I do work on air freight and ocean freight, so it's related to planes and vessels and moving products like computers or electronics from China into the US. So that interaction led me to meet Mary at this event through a common friend. And we had a good time, and we had good also prospects from Qingdao that were interested in our company, or maybe getting services from us. The event lasted 2 days, and that was for me part of a trip that I deviated from Beijing, Shanghai, and Chengdu and Shenzhou. So I went to Qingdao for 2 days, and it was unforgettable because not only I met with the Qingdao people, but also for the first time, I was never in Qingdao before. And also I got to know better Mary and the LBQA organization, so it was my first experience with them.
My name is Patricia Soisu. Everyone knows me as Trish, and I am the interim secretary of the Long Beach Qingdao Association. For the sister cities, it's definitely bringing a youthful group to learn and to share the value of the sister cities with other youth. The international focus of the sister cities, the fact that it was born of a request by the city of Long Beach, the fact that sister cities are only formed when two mayors sign an agreement to cooperate. All of these are opportunities for the students in the group to participate. They get to organize international events. They get to interact with diplomats and consulates, as well as city officials. Some of them actually get employment out of it.
The ambassadors, they're really excited. The main reason a lot of them have been a part of the program is just they're so curious about what we do with Sister Cities of Long Beach. And when I mentioned my own personal experience of traveling to China, they were all so excited with all the stories that I've shared. And I know, Mr. Xu, when we spoke earlier, there's nothing that can ever compare to actually going and immersing yourself into a different culture. And I always say that you guys have been more than accommodating whenever we go and travel, not just with me, but say with everyone else from the Long Beach Qingdao Association. And it's just amazing that they want to experience that for themselves. And I'm really excited that Mary chose me to be that representative to go ahead and not only represent the Long Beach Qingdao Association, but also show the students and be with them to be their sort of guide into coming to Qingdao hopefully next year with your guys' offer.
My name is David Wilcox, and I've been the director of the Long Beach Ballet for 45 years. I was a professional dancer before that, and born and raised in LA area. Just this last summer, when we went for the 40th anniversary to Qingdao, and the mayor of Long Beach, Rex Richardson, also went and was there. And they said, we're going to take you and have a little welcoming ceremony. They said, okay, I had no idea. I kind of had an idea because they do this sort of thing a lot. But we got there, and like I said, the kids were there with bouquets of flowers and gifts, gave everybody a gift. And when we got there and we went up into this upstairs room, it was kind of like a little stage, and they put on this whole performance for us of musicians, children playing musical instruments, dancing. They put on this little performance for us, and it treated us like we were like the President of the United States coming to visit. It was remarkable. Sharing what I know about China, because I've been there so long and I've had such a strong relationship with the people there, sharing that with these young people is everything. It is, I will never give it up. I will never give it up. I couldn't do it for a couple of years during COVID, but as soon as COVID was over, we were back there again. And the dancers always come back more blown away by the experience than they thought they were going to be.
Well, it's what we do on our side of the ocean to help educate, local people about the traditions and the culture of China. So for probably 20 years or more, we've been doing some version of a Lunar New Year festival. Often that took the place of a big luncheon or dinner and entertainment on stage. And we often did those, actually, now that I think of it, at Long Beach City College, where we brought the culinary arts program in, and the students there cooked a Chinese dinner for us. So they might never have had a chance to learn how to cook Chinese cuisine in their culinary program, but they did it because we were there. And then, of course, we would invite the community. And we still do, even though now our Lunar New Year program is a bigger event at the 2nd and PCH Shopping Center. It's kind of like a big event right there, everybody come on. Even when we did it at Long Beach City College, there were still 100 people or 150 people there. And it was a lot of fun. So we try to make sure that at least once a year, the local community learns about China.
I had been working for 30 years, and my contract had ended, and I had decided to try to make something that was meaningful to me happen. What that turned out to be was following an idea that someone presented to me about having students from other countries come to the United States to work with American students and do exchanges. So it's called educational travel. And so with youth education, having, say, something like a competition or a class or a collaborative situation where people from different countries are actually in the same room together, that is meaningful. And I joined the LBQA because I was trying to realize this. And I tried it for 3 years and it didn't work. We just couldn't figure out how to make it happen. But in 2018, I was contacted by someone who happened to be from China, and he wanted me to do exactly that. We did it 3 times. We had students from China and from Trinidad in the Caribbean, which is where I'm from. They came here to the United States, to Long Beach, and worked with the students I gathered to do the World Robot Olympiad competition and the first Lego League competition. And as far as I could see, it was really amazing.
That for us too, when we go to China. We work with the local ballet students there. We work with hundreds of young ballet students in China every summer, and we're all on the same page. We don't speak the same language. We cannot talk to each other at all, but we're in love with each other. I graduated from high school, I moved to London, and I was kind of freaked out. I'd never been away from home. I was just 18 years old. I went by myself, hardly any money, and was really kind of homesick and freaked out and scared. But then I found out where there was a big ballet school and that had a class every morning for kind of like professional level people. And I remember this like yesterday, okay? And this was 56 years ago. And I walked into the ballet studio and the pianist started to play the music and I started to do the first warm-up exercises in a room full of people, of 35 or 40 people from all over the world that I didn't know. I didn't know anybody. And I was like, I'm home now. I'll never forget that. I'm home now. All my anxiety, all of my homesickness, everything just like melted away. I was home. I was doing ballet.
What do I hope for the future of Sister Cities? Well, I really hope that we will bring to the fore a group of young people who will take on some leadership roles and make it even better than it has been.
The city's website, which is separate from the LBQA website, both have a registration online for people interested to be members. So I encourage everybody to maybe check our website, it's lbqa.org, and at the end they can subscribe and they're gonna start receiving communication and information on our meetings, which they can participate in and eventually be selected to participate on one of our committees, right? Later they can, be invited, right, to the more important events that are like visits to Qingdao or the visits from Qingdao here, and set up committees also to coordinate those. So yeah, I would say maybe get informed through our website or to our events, participate, and bring your friends as well.
I would like to see the city of Long Beach step up and start inviting them to Long Beach, start inviting them to come and do a celebration here like they did for us there. And they did it 10 years ago, they did it this last summer, and it would be wonderful if we could do something to bring dancers, singers, acrobats from Qingdao come here, perform at the Terrace Theater, in collaboration with Long Beach Ballet. That would to do it like at least every couple of years, but at least every 10 years for the anniversaries.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I would say jump in with both feet. Get involved in a project. If you don't see a project that appeals to you, think a little bit, dream up something new, and I think you'll find a very receptive audience among the leadership of Sister Cities, and they'll find a way to help you implement whatever project you have in mind. And that includes some funding. They're pretty good at coming up with some kind of money to back an exchange or a new idea. So don't be afraid, don't hesitate. Look online, see who you want to contact, and just do it.
What does the Sister City mean to me? I think it's a very valuable people-to-people organization to improve the understanding of the two countries, two peoples. No matter how the government was doing with each other, we have our own best approach to the relationship. I have to say that I didn't find them for quite a few years. I didn't know the existence of this. So that's one of the things we want to do now, publicize it more, so more people will know about the value of this organization. My fondest memory is when I directed this publication of this art book between the children of the two cities, when I saw how eager the two side of the children for this project. My initial call for the art is calling the kids of the two cities to tell us how they celebrate the Chinese New Year in their respective countries. I having been an artist myself and have published many art books, I know how this can accomplish the purposes, because you don't need a language skill. They can communicate with each other from the art. So we were able to raise funds, call for the art, and our sister in China responded eagerly. They quickly produced many worthwhile artworks in here. So we are into our second year. We are working on the next year's project. Just through art, they understand each other. So that's, when I see that, that's my biggest reward. I didn't work here. I didn't go to school here, so I have no way to reach to the art students. That's when I picked up the program early on, I mentioned that aspect, I needed help. Everything we did has some good reports, good result. I hope this project will continue, and maybe under some new intern of our organization to pick up, and I will help out. And there will be many other projects I would like to initiate or accomplish in the future.
With the state of the world right now, a relationship like this is so important for community. I feel like it's so important to be able to have friends in different countries because they can help you. They can send us money, resources, even just a little bit of support. You know, love from China is always needed. So I feel like it's important to have this connection that we share because, hey, like with COVID and the pandemic and just other things that are happening, right now in our time, I think we need more help than ever. And since we have friends in other places, why not ask them for help? You have someone you can count on, right? Like if something goes crazy here, we have friends in other countries that could vouch for us, that could honestly let us stay with them, right? Like being able to stay with them and seeing their way of life, I feel like that's really important. So definitely as an American, being able to have friends in different countries makes me feel at peace. And it makes me feel like I have a community, like I have a family. Even though we're separated by oceans, I feel like we're family at heart.
To commemorate 40 years of friendship between Long Beach and Qingdao, a special time capsule was created as a symbol of the sister cities' relationship. Inside are iconic elements from both cities, marking 40 years of peace, trade, art, and learning. This capsule preserves not only history, but the connections built between generations. In 10 years, it will all be opened, offering an opportunity to reflect on the journey and look ahead to the future of the sister cities' relationship.